All right, looks like this is our crew. Yeah.
Should be fine.
Alrighty. Well then. Back at it again like a lingering fart in a cramped elevator. It is the time for justice. Hooray.
Hooray.
Ow. Definitely not being held hostage. It's Lonnie Ikea.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Ikea. Please send help.
I am a bunny, and I got my new sky tech, and it's so nice.
Welcome
It's
to
so
this
nice.
century.
Yeah. It's nice to have a computer that when I have to restart it, it doesn't decide to take 2 hours.
Been there.
So yeah, once I get all of my streaming shit set back up and unbury myself from a metric fuck ton of work, I will probably get back to streaming things. Probably, maybe. We'll see.
Soon, TM. Definitely not likely to incur or inhibit that process in any way. It's shy.
Well, I mean, I have to keep up my reputation, of course. But yes, hi, I am Shy. I am a ninja girl that likes to play video games, steal cookies, and drive Lania absolutely crazy. I don't think I'm supposed to say that last part. But
No.
yeah.
No, everyone already knew.
You can see me play stuff like Final Fantasy XIV, my Do Everything run. You'll have to excuse me. That's OBS probably protesting as I just give it another good swift kick to get that going. Also, Stardew Valley, and I'm downloading something that if I can get back in October, I think I will take a shot and stream a little bit of. You can catch me here Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays for voice acting and Wednesdays for Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Also, I like to bully Chaos into when we're going to Jersey next.
You cannot outrun me. Closest to Jersey, it's Oneyheart.
That is true. That is a true statement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do some eventually. I'm working on stuff. That's all I got.
How's your saxophone?
It's doing good. It's doing good.
Proud of you. Music's great for you. Lil Sharky ain't here. He's working on house stuff. I'm like 90% sure. But...
Boom! Poof!
Oh, nice. There he is. Okay. Go ahead.
Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But I am the man your man can smell like. Let's have some fun.
Woo! And last but not least, man with the hat. It's Chris Rees.
Hi, Chris Reeves. I the great raid group list in Final Fantasy XIV. I also do RPG long plays, and I'm here for voice acting on Mondays.
True. All right. In the magical words, I won't say. Let us continue. Cross-examining LaBelle, not Patty.
Oh gosh, am I gonna have to break out the worst gay stereotype accent again?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess?
It is indeed. During that last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess.
That testimony is quite favorable to the prosecutions.
This is a bell. Yeah, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right. I'll be calling my little shindig Mayor Tenma's Conviction Gala. A splendid time is guaranteed for all. All but the mayor and his defense.
Well, it seems our witness is a very busy man. Let's get right to his testimony. Mr. LaBelle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime.
Yes, lie to me.
But of course, silly. What LaBelle saw? I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows. That's when I heard the confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing. Immediately after that, the mayor came to, stood up, and opened the forbidden chamber. I ran in terror. The demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to the right, to the one with the phone at the end. I am having such a hard time holding my accent.
I must say, this is a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. To think the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime.
Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter.
You do realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court.
Withhold this, pants grab. It's just, I fear being accused if I mention coming upon that most unpleasant scene.
Why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy? The mute
We better
button.
do some. We better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty.
As death row inmates once told me in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield, a time to live and a time to die.
Ugh. He's laying it on real thick now.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
I was not expecting Black Quill to quote 30 Seconds to Mars there. What LaBelle thought. I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows. So I heard the confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever even noticing me.
How did Miss Temma appear to you?
Oh, the poor little thing seemed positively heartbroken, all teary-eyed and whatnot. I couldn't help but shed a few tears myself after seeing her like that.
You actually sympathize with Jingxi? Seems like an overly human emotion for him.
Yeah, because he's the only real monster we've seen so far. In looks and in character.
The next thing I did was check my face in the mirror.
Checked your face? Why?
Just to behold the beauty that was my sadness. Why else?
Apollo, I'm starting to lose all faith in humanity.
Yeah, I know the feeling, but hang in there. At least keep faith in our client.
Let's just keep this moving, shall we? What happened next?
Immediately after that, the mayor came to stood up, opened the forbidden chamber.
Hold it!
He opened the forbidden chamber? Why would he do that?
Who knows? Maybe he wanted to free the demon, Tenma Tara.
Objection!
The courtroom is no place for fairy tales. Remember, you are under oath. Not that that's ever stopped anyone before.
Hello, the bell speaking. Yes, I will certainly explore the matter. Toodles! Now, where were we again?
You were going to tell us the real reason why the mayor opened the forbidden chamber.
Oh yes, of course. Hello, this is the bell. Good one, sir. You're absolutely a riot. Goodbye. You were saying?
You know what? Never mind.
He's pretty punchable, huh?
Yeah, this was a waste of my time. He's just gonna tell more lies. Listen, the last intelligent thing that left his mouth probably had a pair of testicles attached to it.
Never kiss and tell.
The witness will focus on his testimony and not his phone calls. Now tell the court what you did after you saw the mayor open the forbidden chamber.
Well, after that... As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end.
No?
Hold it!
So, after you fled into the hallway with the phone at the end, Temataro ran off towards the foyer?
Precisely.
Notice any inconsistencies, Apollo?
Well, Jingxi also saw Temataro, right?
She did. She said they passed each other in the hall after she made that call to the police.
Uh-huh. Well, if LaBelle had fled down the hall where that phone is, Jingxi would have seen him when she was returning from making her call.
Oh, right. And if she saw him, she would have definitely asked him for help. Or run screaming.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense. Time to review the evidence.
If we don't find some way to poke a hole in his testimony, Mayor Tenma is good as guilty.
This is bad. Very bad.
can't find an inconsistency, a mistake, some kind of conflict.
It's all over if we can't find a flaw in the prosecution's case. I'm just gonna skip these and go right back to this one.
Objection!
Florent LaBelle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway.
What on earth do you mean?
That boy needs therapy. Wait, never mind. Sorry.
I mean, he does.
Yes.
Yes, fill in the rest of us, will you, Mr. Justice?
Well, if Mr. LaBelle had really fled down into the hall with the phone in it, he would have crossed paths with Miss Tenma.
What's this?
After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. When, after making her call, she went back to the main hallway. Whereupon she encountered the demon, yokai, or whatever you want to call it. As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in a Tenma Taro costume. The encounter happened right there, or right here, where the hallways meet. As for Mr. LaBelle, if he had fled here, feigning escape from the yokai imposter,
Why, yes, the two would have crossed paths.
Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there.
My eyes, my beautiful eyes.
Ha! Not such a fabulous scent is it now?
Mr. Justice, the witness also stated he heard the mayor confess. If he was lying about hearing the confession from the hall, then where was he when he heard it?
Inside the Fox Chamber. Where else?
But isn't that within the very crime scene?
Uh-huh. It is, Your Honor. And, well, to be perfectly honest, that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time.
What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence!
Foolish fop. A true man knows when he's beaten. A shield of lies comes to naught before a foe with the sword of truth bared.
But Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side.
You are mistaken. There are no sides here, save for my cold, steel edge of justice. Judgment.
Same thing.
You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and sickly sweet perfume.
Whoa, what just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him. I didn't know he was gay. Oh wait, he's in prison though. Okay.
You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not? You deviant dandy.
Ow, we're using that type of language?
For the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki. Without either of them noticing you, were right there in the Fox Chamber.
Oh my. So that's how it's going to be? Fine. I'll come clean then.
Seriously? You admit to being there in the Fox Chamber?
I do. I did enter that room after the murder. But I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible about lying like that. But it's the verbal cologne I use to protect myself.
You'd better explain yourself, Mr. LaBelle.
Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that.
The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime.
You're on thin fucking ice, my pedigree chums, and I shall be under it while it breaks.
It's such a serious crime that it's been an issue all of never in this entire franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies.
Sorry, I leaned forward. My cock's too big.
How dare you? He's pulling his cock out.
He's pulling his cock out!
Baka! I did enter the Fox chamber after the murder. But I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen.
Whoever wrote the bass line for that is a genius.
No
From
problem.
behind the screen. Why, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there. Sorry.
What's up, Sharkles?
No trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Just so. You could see everything without being spotted by the victim or that Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events, rather than an actual third party.
This guy's as slippery as an eel.
Paula, do you think he's telling the truth?
Well, he was in the Fox chamber, so at least that much must be true.
The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness.
It's $2 to watch. It's $3 to touch it.
$5 is $5.
I did enter the Fox chamber after the murder? but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen over there. What I saw up there was close. It was horrifying.
Hold it!
Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail?
What exactly would you like details about?
Well, what I'd like to ask you about is... Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene?
The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman QB. Then there was a statue the Alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor.
Oh, right, the statue. But why would he find it inspiring? Why exactly did you find this statue inspiring?
Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like finally getting to merge the town and the village. Inspiring symbol of goodwill.
A broken statue next to a bloody corpse? Really inspiring.
Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider a statement to be of any importance?
Is it important? It's very important. I believe that to be extremely important. I request that it be added to his testimony.
The statue had fallen to the floor. It was a token of goodwill, celebrating the municipal merger.
Objection!
Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle.
What possibly could you mean?
You said that this statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct?
It is indeed. But what of it? The two yokai are joining something in goodwill. As if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Something the matter?
So how did you really know that this statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again?
What?
Justice Dono, explain yourself and make it quick.
Well, this statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form. But that was a secret.
A secret? Whatever do you mean?
What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma in the head. What's left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out.
Beep.
The statue's secret and its true form were lost inside that locked room. For Ms. Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form?
What do you mean, where?
The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken.
How dare you?
Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime?
Yes. Yes, I am. Florent LaBelle, I accuse you of the murder of Alderman Rex Cubey.
Order! Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
How could you possibly accuse me? I'm the embodiment of beauty.
Way to go,
Yeah.
Paulo.
Mhm.
This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico!
We've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now just admit it.
Yeah. Oh.
Silence.
Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock could not possibly be the killer.
Objection.
What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence.
Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo,
Yes, that's right. I clearly remember now. Alderman QB told me about it. About what the statue actually looked like. I mean, he was a good friend of mine. Mm.
Objection!
Yeah, right. He wouldn't just show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
moreover, it's already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime.
It has?
Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scamp's statement, if you will. When Jinshi Tenma unlocked the Fox Chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapse therein, and no one else.
Dang it.
The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Florent LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room.
I just don't get it. How could Jinxie not have seen LaBelle?
The proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, Your Boldness?
It does seem awfully conclusive. The facts point to the defendant and the victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection! Silence.
Wow, cuck.
You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in the charade is over, Justice Dono.
But
Your boldness. This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It is high time you brought down the hammer of justice.
A point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. An idea I had all on my own. This court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma.
Caw, 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 caw. It would seem that my time is at hand.
Mayor Tenma?
Counselor, there is a matter to which I must testify. I recall it now only for your good graces.
Counselor? Oh, he must mean me. Has he finally remembered what happened before that blow to his head?
Bailiff, don't just stand there. Seize him.
It's no good. I can't restrain him. I definitely tried.
Caw, 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 caw. Know me and despair. For I am Tenma Taro, Demon Lord of the Yokai.
Okay.
Mr. Justice, do something.
Since when am I responsible for the court security? I'm like 5'2".
Apollo, this is our chance. We might get some new information out of him.
Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai.
When you put it that way,
Oh, is that what you were thinking all along, all by yourself?
yeah. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world.
Unprecedented and absurdity, more like.
All right then, Mr. Damien Tenma, or should I say Mr. Tenma Taro? Your testimony, please.
I shall now speak of recollections most real, courtesy of my host Damien Tenma. Heed these words, mortal, for hear them but once you shall. Caw, 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 caw.
Actually, a hoagie sounds really good right now, Dan.
Barely conscious was Damien there amid the darkness. Suddenly, two yokai did appear. On one side, I, Tenma Taro, ruler of demonkind. And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox.
Okay.
So the defendant is asserting that the room he was in was very dark at the time?
Strange as it may be, yes, indeed. All was in darkness.
And the part about Temataro and the nine-tailed fox being there?
Yes, that too. Tenma Taro towered overhead, and the nine-tailed fox glittered gold.
Yeah, I call animal abuse, Your Honor.
It would seem the defendant's recollections are not to be trusted. Yes, well, truth be told, my host's recollections are still a bit fuzzy. As if half dreamt, that happening lingers in his mind.
Apollo, maybe I can help here.
Really? Oh, you mean...
Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. It's constantly going bing.
Bing.
I sense an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event.
Okay, I just hope our findings don't come back to haunt us. Again.
Barely unconscious was Damien there amid the darkness. Suddenly, 2 yokai did appear. On one side, I, Tenmataro, ruler of demonkind. And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox.
Got it!
When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well?
Joy? Perhaps it was joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. A long and terrible creaking did pierce the silence. And then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket.
A creaking door? Oh, you must have been talking about the Forbidden Chamber door. It does make a lot of noise.
So this means the Forbidden Chamber really was opened. What about the sudden light he described?
I think I know. You mentioned darkness and Tenmataro towering overhead. Maybe the mayor wasn't really in the Fox Chamber at the time of the crime. Mr. Mayor, did the darkness that you were in happen to be there?
Take that!
The Forbidden Chamber? Was it not the Fox Chamber where the murder did occur?
Yes, but it all makes sense if you were in the Forbidden Chamber. That terrible creaking sound was probably the Forbidden Chamber's door opening. And the towering Tematara you saw? Most likely the Forbidden Chamber statue.
Why, yes, that would explain it. The darkness and the staff in the demon's grasp.
But even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox?
Maybe he was seeing things? Just like Jinxie and her imaginary yokai?
Fantastico, Apollo! It's entirely possible! In a groggy dreamlike state, people can misremember things and events.
Misremember, you say? Let me think. I do believe I remember now. That was not the nine-tailed fox. It was the amazing Ninetails.
The Amazing Ninetales?
At first, this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly it was not. 'Twas the Amazing Ninetales who did open the Forbidden Chamber's door.
I'm sorry I asked.
The Amazing Ninetales? But that was the victim, Alderman Kyobi. What, right?
Yeah, why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Wasn't he trying to keep it sealed?
Never mind that. This is completely new information. Let me enter it and run an update.
Oh, barely unconscious. Barely conscious was Damien there in the Forbidden Chamber. Amid the darkness, a mighty statue of Tenma Taro loomed overhead. Suddenly the door did open, and a shaft of light did pierce the gloom.
It's occurring to me, is this supposed to be Widget?
Yeah, maybe?
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
take
know.
over. The Amazing Ninetales had come to the rescue. Because those are the Widget symbols around it, so...
When the Amazing Ninetales opened the chamber, banishing the darkness within, you felt joy, but didn't you also feel shock and sadness?
Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the fiend's Cape of Red. For when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness did inexplicably wash over me.
Cape of Red?
Apollo, we've reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little left.
Mayor Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape?
Why indeed?
What could this mean?
I guess his memory is still a little spotty. I know because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence.
Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face.
Something this obvious could arise. When someone is trying to force a fuzzy memory into a definitive shape. Apollo, I know what you have to do. You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see.
Oh, so it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination process. Okay, time to review the evidence. Look out, contradiction, here comes justice.
Barely conscious was Damien
Oh,
there
it is Tenma. Okay.
Okay.
in the Forbidden Chamber. Amid the darkness, a mighty statue of Tenma Taro loomed overhead. Suddenly, the door did open, and a shaft of light did pierce the gloom. The Amazing Ninetales had come to the rescue.
Objection!
You said the Amazing Ninetales cape was red. Yeah, are you sure about that?
Yes, well, I do believe it was a red cape I saw, but
Mayor Tenma, does this cape look red to you?
oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even scarlet or crimson either. Nevertheless, upon my liberation, something red did fill as my as yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, the Amazing Ninetales is arrayed in a cape of red.
So you mistook that red something for his cape, huh?
Apparently so, and remembering it now brings a great sadness upon me.
So the red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe that great sadness he mentioned is what's interfering with his memory.
Well, you would have seen the fox chamber behind... Ugh. Well, he would have seen the fox chamber behind the Amazing Ninetales. What red object could he have seen there that would have been that shocking? Oh, I know. Could it have been... Mr. Mayor, was the red thing you saw this?
Take that!
Something red that could produce a deep sadness? Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood?
Blood? Why, yes, it was blood. It's all coming back to me now. It wasn't a red cape that I saw. It was lying behind the Amazing Ninetales, the Alderman's bloody body.
His noise level is down to 0. I think he's remembered everything now.
Does this mean the Amazing Ninetales killed Alderman QB?
But the Alderman was the Amazing Ninetales. So how exactly would that work?
Hey, I asked you first.
Well, Mr. Justice, you sure know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated.
I don't think that's a compliment.
True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover...
Silence!
Boy, don't you think this is strange? The little scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the fox chamber. But she said naught about seeing the Amazing Ninetales there.
Ugh. You just had to bring that up, didn't you?
She didn't see the bell there either. It's so weird. Who really was in that room then?
Will the defense care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defendant's testimony and his daughter's?
Yes, of course, I can explain it. Because if I don't, we're fucked.
Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Dono. I shall have your head if you fail to explain this.
Yep. What about a good old-fashioned penalty?
Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders.
Well, first of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the Fox chamber while it was locked. We also know that Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber, based on his testimony. These two facts are crucial to my explanation. So, let us consider the following question. If the facts point to Florent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene, why did Jinxie Tenma see the victim and her father, Mayor Tenma?
A very good question indeed, and I suppose you have an answer for us.
Sadly, you would be supposing wrong.
You think she could have mistaken the bell for the mayor?
Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that?
Well, how about that explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. The defense asserts that Florent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapse there. If she has, in fact, misremembered the event, what could have made her do so?
Yeah? The figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Florent LaBelle disguised as Damien Tenma.
Silence.
That is a complete impossibility. Their faces are utterly unlike. How could you explain that away with a mere disguise?
Yes, they do both have incredibly distinctive faces.
Maybe the disguise completely hid his face?
I think Jinxie would have mentioned that she couldn't see her father's face.
If it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it?
Oh. Yeah, right.
Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Dono. Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of?
I think would you knock it off?
Are you okay, Apollo?
I'm not fine, am I?
Well, now that we have that little fairy tale out of the way, your baldness, your verdict, if you will.
Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict if you have no further arguments.
What's even left for me to do?
Apollo, remember what Mr. Wright always says. When you're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down.
Quick, do a headstand.
Do a barrel roll.
Turn the case upside down. He does say that, doesn't he? But I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Well, let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it.
A wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He'd never unmask himself in front of others. But there are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's mask. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself.
And what about the fact that it was the amazing Ninetales who opened the door? A mask that can't be removed in front of others. Can these facts turn things around? We got it all backwards.
Apollo?
I think we might have made a huge mistake.
Your boldness. I see no need to further indulge them in their silly little farce. The defense has no proof. They never did, and they never will.
But it seems I must announce my verdict.
No, wait. I do have proof.
Do you now?
All right, but this better be good, Mr. Justice.
We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why Jingxi Tenma mistook Mr. LaBelle for her father. Why she couldn't remove the costume or tell anyone about it in the first place. These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. This piece of evidence clearly reveals Mayor Tenma's secret identity. The mask, duh.
Yeah. What? What absolute claptrap! Poppycock, balderdash.
We thought that the alderman was the amazing Ninetales and the mayor was Tenmataro. That's why we believed the mayor killed the alderman in his lust for Ninetales' veil. And it was the basis for the prosecution's entire case against our client. However, we got the whole thing backwards. Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenmataro at all. He was the amazing Ninetales.
What's this?
You'd best explain yourself, Justice Dono. And from where you derive such a far-fetched conclusion?
Jingxi no doubt knew the true identity of the amazing Ninetales, but she couldn't tell anyone no matter what. That's why she didn't say it was the amazing Ninetales she saw pass down. Even though unbeknownst to her, it was really Florent LaBelle in disguise.
Silence.
The accused and the deceitful dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. The little scamp would have seen the difference.
Objection!
Remember, Mr. LaBelle has his very own brand of cosmetics. Why couldn't he fake a different build, too? And anyone speaking through a mask would naturally sound different.
Silence.
Why did she not simply pull the mask off?
Objection!
A masked wrestler's disguise is more precious than life itself. As a huge fan of the amazing Ninetales, she would never dare unmask him. This case of mistaken identity also explains the riddle of the locked room.
Then by all means, Mr. Justice, answer it for us already.
First, Mr. LaBelle entered the room where the mayor and the alderman were talking. I suspect he brought with him coffee laced with some sort of sedative. And once the alderman was out cold, that's when Mr. LaBelle killed him. Next, he took the mayor, who he had also drugged, into the Forbidden Chamber. Then he returned to the Fox Chamber and slipped into some of the mayor's spare clothes, and completed the disguise by donning the Amazing Ninetales mask. With his entire charade in place, Mr. LaBelle then let out a scream. The scream that led Jinxie Tenma to the scene.
So then, the person who said, "I killed Alderman QB" was...
Yep, that was Florent LaBelle in disguise. The mayor never actually confessed.
Silence.
This is no more than guesswork and speculation. Now stop your jabbering and...
Objection!
No, you twisted samurai! This time, you stop your jabbering and let me finish making my case.
Yeah!
Once Ms. Tenma left, Mr. LaBelle, still wearing the mayor's clothes and mask, opened the Forbidden Chamber, so he could drag the mayor back out into the Fox Chamber.
Oh, so the Amazing Ninetales the mayor saw was...
Right, it was LaBelle opening the Forbidden Chamber. The second time Mr. LaBelle opened the door to the Forbidden Chamber, he happened to catch the thieving Mr. Filch by surprise. Startled, Mr. Filch, in his Tenma Taro disguise, ran as fast as he could away from the room. As he did, he left behind him a trail of feathers and tracks, and gave Ms. Tenma the scare of her life in the hallway. With no one left to witness the events that had occurred, Mrs. LaBelle then proceeded to drag the sleeping mayor back into the Fox Chamber.
I see. Well, that all certainly does make sense.
Then, after dragging the mayor back into the Fox Chamber, Mr. LaBelle threw the mask out the window and fled the room.
Silence.
For this absurd theory to work, it requires that the defendant be the Amazing Ninetales. However, he was the one pushing for the municipal merger. That such an individual could possibly be the Amazing Ninetales is preposterous.
Objection!
The mayor was blackmailed into pursuing the merger. Ms. Tenma's life would have been in danger if he had openly voiced his opposition. That's why he created a secret identity as the Amazing Ninetales.
This is madness. No one could possibly hatch such an insane plot.
No one except a killer as insane as his plot, and I'd say Florent LaBelle more than qualifies.
Foolish mortal. It is at your own peril that you forget who I am.
Mayor Tenma, it's okay now. I think she will be safe as soon as Mr. LaBelle is arrested. You are the Amazing Ninetales, aren't you?
I...
You have quite the active imagination. Mayor Tenma is not the amazing Ninetales.
Objection!
What does that mean?
Well, has the mayor admitted to it yet?
But that's just...
And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now.
What?
Why, you would dare reveal this secret?
My good friend the alderman told me all about you. But it wouldn't be good to expose the truth. What with all the superstitions now, would it?
The truth behind Temataro? What's he talking about?
So, go ahead, say it. Say, I am the amazing Ninetales. I dare you.
Objection!
Wait! Will somebody please explain what's going on here?
Mayor Tenma will do anything to keep the truth behind Tenma Taro a secret. A dark, terrible truth that has been kept secret by the village superstitions.
And if the mayor admits to being the amazing Ninetales, you'll expose the truth?
Right. I won't have him walking free because of some nonsense you made up.
So what now, Justice Dono? Without the mayor's admission, your theory is as useless as you are in battle.
I'll show you who's useless.
Apollo, don't you dare give up now.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I bet an entire cookie on you.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. LaBelle's statement warrant a thorough cross-examination. After all, the true identity of the amazing Ninetales is the cornerstone of this case.
You do have a point there. Please answer the court, Mr. LaBelle. Is the defendant the amazing Ninetales or not?
Here we go again. The amazing Ninetales' true identity is not Mayor Tenma. The mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense. But if he did admit to such nonsense, I will expose the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now. And that would bring ruin upon Ninetales Vale, just as the superstitions say.
Talk about out of the pot and into the fire. At this rate, the mayor will be found guilty for sure.
Honestly speaking, if Mayor Damien Tenma is not the amazing Ninetales, I'm afraid I don't see how the defense has much of a case here.
Gotcha now, bitch. We all know Alderman QB with the amazing nine tails anyway. I mean, that's how Nine Tails Vale made a comeback. The Alderman was so popular.
There's gotta be a hole in that testimony somewhere.
Let's see you find it, big boy.
But I don't even know where to start.
He wants you to find his hole.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to make sure you picked up on that.
Yeah?
You're
Yeah.
such a
Do I look
cartographer.
like I have I assume Apollo would actually probably have trouble finding the hole.
That forehead knows where it's going. Seriously, nothing to respond to that?
Since we don't have any proof that the mayor is the amazing Ninetails, then we'll just have to get him to admit it himself.
But if he admits it, LaBelle's going to expose the secret behind Temataro. We're so close. I know it.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
The amazing Nine-Tails' true identity is not Mayor Tenma. The mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense. But if he did admit to such nonsense, I will expose the truth behind Tenmataro right here and now. And that would bring ruin upon Nine-Tails Vale, just as the superstitions say.
Hold it!
Do not gaze upon Tenmataro. Do not tell others if you see him. Isn't that what the village superstitions say?
Exactly. Telling others what Tenmataro looks like would reveal the truth. That's why the superstitions were written down in the first place.
And ruin coming to the village if you free him. Is that a warning not to expose the truth?
Bingo! And that truth is Tenmataro's. I lost it.
There we go.
Tenmataro is a great, greed-inspiring fortune. That's what the whole battle over Nine-Tails Vale is about. Marketing.
Tenmataro is a great fortune? Well, come to think of it.
Only that it's the greatest get-rich-quick scheme in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it, said there's an amazing treasure in there.
Could Tenmataro actually be? Telling the villagers that Tenmataro is a terrifying yokai is what has scared them away from the Forbidden Chamber and the treasure within. That's how the treasure has been kept secret all this time.
Oh. Wow. It seems our eighth attorney here, roll credits, has uncovered the truth that must not be revealed.
Maritema looks like he wants to keep the truth hidden as much as I do.
Tragedy is doomed to repeat itself as long as Tenmataro exists. That's why the secret must be protected.
As long as Tenmataro exists, huh? Mr. LaBelle, please add that statement to your testimony.
Tragedy is doomed to repeat as long as Tenmataro still exists.
I do believe that it is time for us to call it a night. Maybe we can wrap it next week. Nah, just kidding. This shit goes on forever, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course it does. Why wouldn't it?
Faith that does not end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
Well, I am
Some
proud of you.
people started playing it not knowing what it was.
No,
And they'll
we're not
continue
doing this. I
playing
have
it
to go to
forever
bed.
Just because.
This is
It
the
is
game that never ends.
Oni's gonna get really mad and he's not gonna come back, and I'm gonna blame the rest of you because I am
No,
a
I'll just
perfectly
leave 'cause I got a
well-behaved cat
headache.
boy.
And this is not helping.
See? All right, friendos. Let's give it a call here. Wait. Oh, I see. And we shall get back to it in a week from now. Oni, I know you're tired and have a headache. Why don't you close us out first?
Yep. I got the stuff I'm working on. I will be MIA for a while. Not from here, but just from my own stuff, because I got a lot of shit going on.
I feel you, brother. Always something. Speaking of something, Lil Sharky.
Hey y'all, I'm just trying not to get blown away by a hurricane on Thursday. So,
Good luck.
also buying a house in the middle of hurricane season is fun. I heard that laugh. Y'all be nice to each other. Tell your loved ones just how you feel. You might try to throw up an American flag in a giant storm and blow away forever otherwise. So, Florida man does whatever Florida man can.
Exactly. Shy,
Yeah.
tell us.
Oh,
You can do
we're
it.
going to Jersey?
No, we're not.
You're all
Hi, I am Shy. First off, thank you for showing up. It's always great fun to get here and have fun and just spend time with everybody. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Fallout. I know I'm looking forward to it. I know everybody else is looking forward to it. Probably a bunch of cars in Charleston not looking forward to it, but shrug.
Woo! Lon,
Yes.
I know you did it, but I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Oh, well, that's good, because we really don't want the cops involved. Hi, I'm Lonnie Ikea. I am here just to hang out and demonetize streams. At some point, I will be back on my own thing. I just got my new Skytech machine. I'm still setting everything up. I have so many Steam downloads to do. But in the meantime, I guess be good to each other.
That's a good call. All right, last but not least, it's Cranky Chrisseries.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry about your
Crankeries.
tire.
Mhm. That's the cranky outro.
Oh, okay.
That's more exhausted than cranky.
Shh.
All right, then. I'll do my bit. All right, friendos. I appreciate you all coming through and hanging out. Likely off tomorrow. Don't expect to stream. If it happens, it happens. You can join us in the Discord to keep up and, you know, figure out what's going on. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, I'd recommend it. Easiest way to catch up on what you may or may not have missed, plus stuff that I can't stream. There's my wife's Etsy and website. She is incredibly freaking talented. Would recommend checking it out if you're into the witchier sides of life. It is all handmade, all wonderful, wonderful, cute designs. And if you want to support your favorite streamer, get extra cooking votes, and I'll sign a cool trading card for you, definitely feel free to check out the stream wish list. But yeah, I am going to call it a night here. I hope you all had a tremendous amount of fun, and we're going to go find somebody to raid. So, y'all take care, and have a good one.